Our condolences to Jonathan and Martha Kent and everybody at the Daily Planet for the late, great Mr. Kent.
Oh, I guess the shock just hasn't worn off yet.
Well,
Thank
that's the
you.
thing that when I started watching this episode, I was like, "Oh yeah, the Martha moment where she has no reaction."
Okay, so I have to ask, starting off, once the episode started, did you have an "Oh, this episode"
Oh yeah,
reaction?
oh yeah. And I went like, and then you talking about it as well. I'm like, of course Scott likes this because it's very noir with the voiceover and stuff. So
Mhm.
we do that whole thing where literally just opens up right there, and you got voiceover through the whole thing, and it's Clark being a detective essentially. So, but anyways, what's happening, guys? Welcome to DC Fan-imated. I'm Dave, the film junkie. With me as always, Mr. Scott McClellan. How's it going?
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy,
Oh,
howdy.
I'm so ready
What?
to talk about this episode. It's such a good
It
episode.
is. It's such a good
And
episode.
dude, that ending.
I know. The ending is also what sticks out too. Holy Lord. Whoa. Sorry. Got some baseball in the background. There's a big brawl happening right now. I just saw
Oh,
somebody got clocked in the face. Wow.
of course
Sorry.
there's baseball. You always have baseball playing in the background. I
I
accept
know.
this. It's okay.
Yeah, I know, right? But I was just like, I just happened to look over and bam. Crazy. Yes. How did he survive that car bomb? Yeah, that ending also, you remember that one too. That one sticks out when it comes to endings of these episodes. That one definitely sticks out. We got Mr. Venom here. We got Jason McKenzie. Always great to see you. And we got a regular Neil right there. Good to see you guys. All right. But yeah, we're ready to talk about this episode because yeah, this is very noiry. It's a great episode and a lot of
Interesting fact though.
hmm,
Did you notice a weird little thing that never happens with any other episode?
a weird little thing that never happens with. Not really.
We
No.
never got the title.
Oh, you don't see it?
You don't see the title
You
because
sure?
it's the
Hmm.
reveal. Like,
Ah,
because of the funeral at the beginning of the episode, you don't know whose funeral it is. Well, if the episode title pops up, it kind of gives it away. It just pops up, written by Stan Berkowitz, directed by. It never act. And I was waiting. Oh, are they just going to show it later? No, actually, you never see the title of this episode ever.
wow. That's
In
crazy. I
the
didn't even catch that.
it was a weird thing. I was sitting
I
there.
bet.
I was just there. Like I literally got home from work, propped my iPad up on my kitchen table, and was eating some McDonald's that I'd picked up, and I
Mhm.
was like,
No
"There's
title.
no title,
I
really."
totally did not catch that. Look at that. So we got a first right there. All right. Well, that's cool. And it makes sense. Yeah, because like I said, it would be just start off the episode with some funeral. And if you're going into this thing fresh, you're not gonna know whose funeral it is. But then of course I like how I love how it opens up like that because it just slowly reveals and you got Superman standing off in the background doing that cliche thing when someone's at someone's funeral and they don't want to be seen, so they do that step out, from behind the tree, kind
Yeah,
of
but
trick.
it's also kind of cool because you think Superman might just be, there for the funeral. Because even after we see Superman,
Yeah,
it's still a hot minute before we discover that this is supposed to be Clark Kent's funeral. I I forgot how long they drag out the part of not revealing that we all think Clark is dead.
yeah.
Like it's such a great opening. And then yes, I'm a sucker for the narration. I
Oh,
mean,
it's
and Tim
perfect.
Daly does a great job with it.
He does. Go ahead and exit out and enter again. All right. Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna see how this fight started right here. I guess some shit just was talk. Yep, they're talking shit. Uh oh, and there it is. There it is. Boom. Oh, and that's where it starts. And then it just starts going. Wow. Yeah, I'll be watching John Boy Media when it comes to this one. That's for damn sure. No, but you're absolutely correct. Like, just it's so again the voiceover is just so perfectly noirish, and yeah, Tim Daly just like absolutely nails the narration, and
Yeah. It
just
reminded me a lot of one particular movie. Have you ever seen Sunset Boulevard?
a long time ago.
Oh yeah, the narration of because that in that movie, the narration, the guy is dead.
Oh, okay.
And like we see like
Who's in
but
that again?
huh?
Who's in that again?
William Holden is the main guy. Oh my god, I forgot the actress who plays the has been the recluse has been film star.
Okay.
That's the one that ends with the I'm ready for my close up, Mr. DeMille.
That's right. Yeah. It's a long time ago. But yeah, yeah, I'm trying to even remember the story of that, but no, yeah, when and then of course we, have to do the whole let's go back, and we got
And that's actually when the narration stops though, because I when the time finally catches up,
yeah,
I was waiting. I was like, wait a minute, is the narration gonna stay through the entire episode? And no, it only stays there long enough to catch us up to this moment at the beginning of the episode where they're having Clark's funeral.
yeah, that's where it's yeah, and then we go back and we meet Ernest Walker, who apparently was accused of murder and
Convicted.
convicted, and then we got Clark. And he's getting sent over to interview Mr. Walker, and he denies killing this woman. And you could tell, like, I mean, even Clark, he's doing his whole thing where he can, feel his heart rate, his pulse, all the stuff. And he's pretty much believing. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
because his heart rate doesn't flutter.
No.
Basically he's doing like the whole like lie detector test thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I mean, he believes what he's saying.
Yeah.
So
No. I mean, it's one way to, and then we meet Detective Bowman. We haven't met him before,
you know what
right?
we have?
We have?
Yeah. Go
Which
back
one?
to
Where?
episode 20,
Episode
Target.
20. That's
The
right. Okay.
he's one of the red herring, like,
Yeah, that's
he
right.
was one of the red
That's right.
herrings of
Yes,
who might be going after Lois, but he's also like the creepy one that like randomly we saw him like peering into her apartment with the binoculars and then like
that's right.
disappears for the rest of the episode.
That's right. I was like, I wasn't sure, and I just was like drawing a blank, and I'm like, it's funny because Turpin has the big eyebrows, Bowman has the big like jowls and and the lips.
But he's got like the buzz cut.
Yeah,
But he's got hey, he's got some eyebrows on him too, by the way.
he does. It's just not Turpin style
Oh
ones.
no, Turpin's got the bush. Turpin's got some bushy ones.
Yeah,
You know.
Turpin, he needs to groom those damn things. Maggie needs to help him with that. But yeah, so we got so Clark interviews him. No, he feels that yes, he's got to be innocent, so he's going to just be all right. I got to do my digging, got to do, and of course, we got Bowman that has all the information that he gives him, and then it's like, all right, now Clark's just gonna basically pull an all nighter, and then we got Lois and Jimmy. They're like, hey, let's get some dinner, but he's like, yeah, and then I mean, automatically too, she's already like, what? Who cares? He's freaking guilty. They're both like, he's guilty. Yeah, what are you gonna worry about this? He's guilty,
Yeah, I thought that was weird coming from Lois a little bit, but
right?
then, but still, it might just be Lois being the cynical, world weary, like he's a convicted murderer. Clark, just stop being a
Yeah,
bleeding heart. Jimmy is really just kind of like impressionable and just kind of going along with it because that's what
that's
that's
what
what
he.
Lois thinks.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna follow her, and plus he's probably hungry, and they're gonna go get burgers. So, and then I like how we have like Clark. We have the inner monologue of him just like talking about how that when it comes to eating, and he talks about how he doesn't really need to, but old habits, or it's like he's not gonna like.
I thought that was interesting, and
Yeah,
I was trying to think anywhere else in the Superman canon, have they ever mentioned the fact that Superman doesn't actually need to eat?
yeah. I
Like,
don't think it ever has. Like it was like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't. Interesting. It's like all he needs is that, the little big ball in the sky.
the
So,
big yeah, the big ball of gas in the
yeah,
sky, yeah,
yeah.
uh-huh.
So I
So,
don't
I
think, yeah,
that's
yeah,
interesting, though, but I also like how Ron Troop gets a shout out because it's his pizza that's,
mm,
sitting over there, and but I love that moment where he has, like, the eureka moment. He
yeah,
has the burst of inspiration of, "Wait a minute, the guy's alibi was he ordered pizza that night." And he goes, but I also love the fact that Clark doesn't even know the exact pizza place to go to. He basically has to just kind of look around and go, okay, where's a delivery place near the guy's old apartment.
Yeah, he knows where a Walker lived, or and so he's like, okay, what's the closest place? Obviously, it's like, I mean, I'm sure Metropolis has a ton of pizza joints, but hey, again, 22 minutes. It wasn't like we're gonna have Superman flying around looking for pizza places.
That would just make me even more hungry.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Go ahead and exit out again, Chase. Tuesdays. But yeah, so we got Clark basically walking up to this pizza joint. And it's kind of funny because what's funny about him like going into this pizza place, obviously he's talking to like the main dude. So he goes into that pizza joint, he's talking to the main dude, and I love how it's like, because he's hoping that maybe the delivery boy is still being there. And I
Oh
like
my
his
God, that's
reaction.
hilarious. I love
So
that.
Larry's like, I'll
5
be lucky if
years?
they last a day. It's like, yeah, it's true. It's like, it's been 5 years, man. There's no way that there's gonna be somebody that stays as a pizza delivery boy, but you never know. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? And then of course you got a computer system. Obviously, they display that, and then he's like, hey, well, don't you have all this? But he goes, nope, we purge it every year, so it wouldn't be on there. But wait a minute, we got some floppy disks in the
My
back.
God, 3.5s. I was sitting there going, dude, who even
Oh yeah.
remembers? And by the way, for all y'all that are too young to remember the physical media that was
Back in
floppy
our
disk,
day. Yeah.
I also love the fact that we still call them floppy disks from the 5 1/4, even though the 3.5-inch discs, they were hard.
Yeah.
They weren't
Floppy.
floppy.
Yeah. It was, yeah, I remember questioning that too when the technology advanced, because yeah, when you had the original ones, they were a little floppy, and then yeah, I didn't know we are going to be talking about floppy disks on this episode, but here we are,
I knew
folks.
we were going to be talking about floppy disk because when the pizza guy
I know.
pulls out an entire box of floppy disks, I'm sitting here going, "Wow, that
Well, no, I just meant like going into the episode. I didn't think like, oh yeah, we're gonna
oh,
be,
well,
yeah. And
going
then when
into
I
the
saw that,
episode,
I'm like, of course. And then I
of
was
course we're going to be
remembering,
talking about it. This is
oh
one of
yeah,
our old man references
oh
where we
yeah, it
go,
was
we
gonna be like
remember
100%.
these."
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember having computer games on those. And then a little later on, when you were able to access the internet, maybe you saved some pictures on those. Anyways, I'm just saying.
Anyways, yeah.
Mom, I hope you're not watching. She didn't find it, or maybe she did. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So he has a big box of those, and it's like, all right, now you got to like go through every single one of them. But I love how Clark is so proud of himself. See, what's great about this episode, and he actually admits it too, when we hear more voiceover, is he's really wanting Clark Kent to shine. He doesn't want Superman to
Yes.
shine.
You're right. He wants Clark. He even says there's some ego in it because he wants
Yeah,
Clark to get the credit. And
exactly.
I liked that. I also think it's interesting because with the floppy disk situation, there's no way for him to like super speed through that. Like he legitimately does have to pull a authentic all-nighter to go through all those discs. I mean, I really appreciate that too because it really showcases Clark
Hmm.
as an investigative journalist. Like he has to have skills to do what he's doing in this episode. Skills that, of course, will eventually get him killed because he finds the disc, he finds the order, and the trick
Calls
is,
Lois, rubs it in her face a little bit. You got to do that.
of course you do, of course you do. And I
You got to
love
wake
it.
her up too.
Yeah, yeah. Read about it in the afternoon edition. Like, in your face, Lois.
Finally, one for Clark. And then, yeah, he basically was like, yeah, I could just fly over there, but I think there would be too many eyebrow raises, which is true. That's another thing. It's like, yeah, if Superman just flies over and goes, I have this disc, and but people might start going, wait a minute, huh? And start being like, is there somebody on? Oh man, I mean, I tell you, it's one of those, hey, look at that. We got Mr. Faruqi right here. What's going on, Jared? Saying, well, yes,
Oh
exactly.
yes, yes, sure.
Yes.
It is
Great
a
episode.
it's a it's a top tier Superman episode.
It really is.
It's
It
so
really is.
good.
But yeah, like he said, he's like, you know what? I want to win for Clark. He wants a win for Clark this time. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's what's when it comes to this episode, that's what I really liked about it most. I'm like, yeah, the Clark needs a win, it's always the guy in the freaking blue and red tights. It's always him getting all the glory. And Clark just kind of disappears, obviously.
Yeah, but I love how he gets into his car. He puts the discs up in like the little, sun
I
visor
know, I was
thing.
kind of like, why didn't he just keep it in his jacket pocket? But
And
he was proud. He's proud.
he's
There's like
proud,
it's a
but
proud
then he
moment.
drives away, and you see somebody in the shadows. Even though,
Mhm.
okay, I'm sorry, the shadow was so clearly Bowman that it was like, okay, let's telegraph the answer.
Pretty
Of
much. I know. It's like, oh, you guys didn't really do much of hiding that one, did you? But yeah, and then of course we get a bomb in the car, a little car bomb action going on right here, and then of
Okay,
course,
that's kind of intense though, because like you're
yes,
seeing the explosion from like inside the car. Like
yeah,
it goes off. You see the white, and then you just see the car like fly off that cliff into that water. It it's dark.
it's dark. But there's some dark moments in this freaking episode
No,
too. That's what's so
God is
great.
there ever in this episode.
Yeah. So I mean, you got that, and then obviously goes right into the water, and then I love how like he's like still in his seat, his shirt is ripped, so you see like the Superman costume underneath, and then he's just like, obviously we still got some more inner monologue, and he's just like, all right, well, got to get out of here, got to get back to the surface, I got to somehow get Clark back to the surface, and then he sees the fisherman's boat, and he's like, damn it, crap,
Damn it, crap. I
can't,
nope.
can't do it now, can't do it now, go ahead and exit out again. Tuesdays are bad, apparently.
Apparently.
But yeah, it's a cool shot within the car because he's still got his seatbelt on, and he's just, obviously the car is sinking, and you just have the ripped suit, and you see the Superman S like right underneath it. I think it was a cool shot.
Well, if I was always wearing the costume.
Yeah,
The costume's always on, which
always.
what is it about Tuesdays? Like the fuck is stream. None of this
Nothing.
crap happens.
You're fine. You're fine when it came to the Vox trade. But yeah, so we got that, and then yeah, so he basically has to swim away, get away, and surface a different. And this is where we get that. Is that this where we get the phone call right to Martha? Yeah.
No, well,
No, not yet.
no, because
No, no.
because first we
Yeah.
get the scene of Bowman on the beach and
Yeah.
Lois showing up, and they're like searching around because like that's where we meet the fisherman. I like the moment, and I like the fact that they don't make a point of it in exposition at that time, but when the officer is like taking the fisherman's statement, you see him like put on his glasses and have to like really
I was like,
squint and look at the paper, and Lois sees that, like you see Lois clock that and
yeah.
go, wait a minute, that's a
That's the
that
guy who saw this out there. What? I know, and they emphasize that too, which it's great. And this is after Lois has already been grilling Bowman of like, hey, he could have showed, he could be anywhere, and blah 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 blah. She doesn't want to believe that he's actually dead. Of course, why would she?
yeah. I also like Bowman going, you guys aren't exactly very popular.
I know, right? It's like, didn't Turpin said that kind of stuff to them too, right? Or to her in a way, like kind of a little bit.
What that's reminding me of is the dialogue that Bowman gave to Lois in Target.
Okay, see, I'm getting both of them mixed up. I thought he said that in Target, but no.
Well, no, I mean, I
Or
think Turpin probably said something. Turpin could have said something similar, but I
yeah.
just remember Bowman particularly being the ass, in Target, it because he really didn't like Lois. Because remember, Lois busted him for some shady shit
Yeah.
for
Yep.
being like on the take or something. I remember it was just something that like really pissed him off, which already let us know that he wasn't a great guy. But
Mhm.
then he shows up in this episode, and you're like, okay, Dick 2.0, let's keep the ball rolling.
Right. And then this is where we get the phone call, and I was like, I remember this like sticking out when the episode started playing. I was like, oh yeah, the Martha where she's just like, oh yeah, and she's just not reacting to it at all, not doing any kind of performance or nothing. And obviously, I like how the camera or like the image moves, and we just see Superman just sitting there like, like damn it, like how am I going to pull
He's
this
just
one off?
you can see he's just exhausted.
Yeah,
He's defeated,
yeah.
and eh, but I also love how Martha is all kind of like, yeah, thanks for calling,
I
and
guess, The shock hasn't hit yet. Yeah.
Yeah. But then Jonathan is just so like, well, son, I guess you just can't be Clark anymore.
Yeah.
It's so I love the father aspect of just being like, well, that's just the way it is, you know. It's kind of like that's the way the cookie crumbles. And
Pretty much.
I love Superman's reaction where he's like, but I am Clark. I can't be Superman all the time. I
I'll
would
go
go
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, and it's true. It's like
I love that because once again, this goes back to my interpretation of not but my favorite interpretation of Superman,
hmm,
where he is Clark. Superman is just a persona he puts on so that he can do the things that Clark can't be seen doing.
yeah.
It's the classic conversation we've had where Batman's the real persona, Bruce Wayne's the disguise. I won't go. I don't believe in the Kill Bill.
Yeah, I was about to
Clark,
say, I was like, I've kind of changed my tone on that one too. Like at first I was like, you know what, that's actually not a bad little, way to look at it. But then I'm like, no, as I was like, then I just kind of went, no, because it seems like sometimes, even like with someone like Spider-Man, it's almost like, like Peter Parker is like more of, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I started kind of moving away from that too. At first I liked it, but then I'm like, nah, I don't know if I like that
see,
anymore.
I
Okay.
never like that because for me, it was always he is Clark.
Yeah.
Superman's the persona he puts on so that he can be the hero. So I love this idea of I have to be Clark. I can't be Superman all the time because I am Clark. I love that, and I love the fact that this episode reinforces it.
Kind of works with the whole like eating thing too, because it's like he doesn't have to, but he will, just because he wants to be human, essentially wants to
Essentially,
have it.
yes.
Yes. So I mean, and he can still enjoy a slice of pizza. He still can enjoy food, even though he doesn't need it to nourish his body necessarily, but he wants to just take part in it because hey, old habits. So yeah, we got that, and it's a great scene. But yeah, I know I like how Jonathan's just like, what are you gonna do, son? Sorry. And it's like, no, 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 he's got to figure it out. And then this is where we go right back to the funeral right here.
Right, and this is
A
what, and
little
so
transition. I love that
y-
transition too.
yeah, because
Yeah.
then now we've caught up.
Yeah.
The audience is caught up. This is where the narration stops
Yep.
because we're not having to have you know we're not in flashback anymore,
Yeah. You
and
don't have to
so
hand tell the story. Yeah.
exactly. So it moves forward. Even though it would have been kind of cool to have some more narration throughout the
Why not?
episode.
Yeah. I mean, like, why not just finish it, But
Well,
it makes sense.
but structurally, it wouldn't make sense because he's not telling us the story. He just had to tell us the story to chronologically catch us up
I bet
with.
you're wondering how I got here. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, it's always that little, yeah. So, it should have been like if it was the full episode, it should have been him in the hospital bed with a certain someone.
a certain
Uh,
someone.
a
Yeah.
certain someone, yeah, it's a fun one. Um, Nice little surprise too. Like I remember watching this episode back and then just seeing like I mean the whole ending is just great. I mean the
It's
whole
it, it's
it's okay. Well, I'm like getting excited just talking about the ending because we get like obviously. So we're at this point now where all right. So let's see. We got Lois. Let's see.
because
Okay, so
Superman
then
goes back to his
yes,
apartment.
there we go. He goes back to this apartment because now it's just like, how do I figure this out? And then I like, basically he's just like, okay, so if need be, he still wants to help out. We've already established he still wants to help out Ernest. So if it requires him to basically reveal that he's Superman, then so be it. I guess you could say it's like, hey, I don't want his friends and family to have to go through this and everything. So he goes back to the apartment, and of course Lois is in there. Why not? And
Well,
she's snooping around.
because she's thinking Clark maybe had a backup of the
Yeah,
evidence. Of course, I love Superman going. Wish I thought of like I love that. I love the moment of yeah, that would have been good, wouldn't it?
that would have been a good idea if,
Yeah.
like, with this hard evidence of saving someone's life that I've worked really hard to find, should have made a copy. Should have
Should have
made a
made a
copy.
copy. Yeah, Clark.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea. But then notices that the computer's gone, and yep, somebody was here, and there was like a little bug that that Lois found. Gee, I wonder who put that one there. Uh,
Hmm.
and then of course there's another bomb, and I mean, obviously Superman rushes Lois out of there, but I mean, geez, Clark Clark's having a bad couple of days. And then he'll lose his
Yeah,
apartment,
yeah,
lost his car. He's losing his property here. So apartment,
yeah.
car, everything.
And but then he also has to worry about the fact that he has an apartment, so like he can't have the whole building burning down. So of course he grabs the water tower and
That's
starts
cool.
putting out the fire. But then of course parts of the building are falling in the street. He's got to put that fire out. But then of course the bad guy, always has to be at the scene of the crime to admire his work. And
Gee.
dude, and of course Bowman, dude, seriously, flip up the collar, turn right around, make a beeline out. Yes, look more guilty than you do already. I mean, seriously.
It's like, you know that Superman can see through things, right? Maybe he
Right.
doesn't. Yeah, I'm sure he does. But it's just like, yeah, why even be there? Dummy. But hey, you know what? It's perfectly fine because he's gonna get his. And then it was actually a pretty touching moment too before that all happened, where Lois sees the picture. I actually liked how the picture looked because Lois is making kind of like a face of
Yes.
them too, and she starts crying. It's kind of a cool moment because obviously who's she talking to, and he's now hearing like seeing this and hearing like, yeah, I give him a hard time and blah blah blah.
I
So
teased him, but I
yeah,
liked him. I respected him. You
yeah,
know, it's kind of nice because she calls him Smallville and makes fun
yeah.
of all that stuff, and she's just like, he was a good guy.
He was a good guy, and then we find out that fisherman had 2,200 vision. Jesus Christ. That's really bad. I mean, my eyes aren't great, but it's not 2,200. That's for damn sure.
But I also like, along with Clark taking the hit about the fact that he didn't make a backup, I also love the fact that he was like, you mean I could have come out of the water? What the
I know. It's like all this stuff's happening, and then it's like, geez, all right, well, now at least he knows that. So yeah, he puts out all the water and everything, and then he sees him in the crowd, sees Bowman in the crowd, and then we get Lois, who approaches Bowman at the
That's a
station.
police station.
She's just like, you know what? I mean, this is a really cool little idea because it's like, okay, he's gonna go into the stairwell. That's obviously located on a certain side of the building. Superman can hear, so he's outside the wall listening. So then she could do her thing to get him to say some stuff. But well, he actually triggers him like a motherfucker because
Dude, he starts losing his shit.
he starts just doing that thing and then just
Sweating
sweating.
profusely, like he is not. I'm like, dude, I would expect Bowman, who's like this bad cop, to be a little bit more cool and collected under pressure, but dude, he just loses it.
Totally loses it, pushes her over the railing, and then it's like, where's Superman at? And he bursts through the wall, saves her, and then she was like, what took you? I was like, yeah, that was a little scary. And he's like, I thought you were gonna, I forgot exactly what he said.
I thought you were waiting for him to incriminate himself.
Yeah. And she was like, I think this is enough. Like, yeah, attempted murder now? Sure. Absolutely. Because they struggle for a bit. They're doing like this whole thing. And then finally she goes over the railing. It's a pretty intense moment. That's
Right, because he's trying to grab the bug because she recognizes the bug as basically like police issue. And she talks about how they can get fingerprints off the bug. That's when Bowman's like,
losing it.
shit.
So I mean, geez. I mean, talk about it in like this family-friendly cartoon. We're getting people that are, attempted murders, bombs going off, and all kinds
Wrongly accused men on death
wrongly accused.
row.
Yes, so we got all this going on right now, and then this is where we're gonna jump in because, freaking Bowman trying to escape in a helicopter, and then he just starts
Dude,
wailing.
yeah, let's watch this because this was intense. I forgot. Actually, this is the one part of the episode I forgot about.
Yeah, this gets very intense.
Yeah, I mean, who puts a 50 cal
Ow.
on a police helicopter? I mean, dude. I mean, is it like a SWAT helicopter?
It's gotta be. Jesus. But I mean, these things are knocking them over, man.
Well, I mean, at least the series is respecting, kinetic energy.
True.
Like, he's Superman. The bullets aren't piercing him, but
it's
they're
gonna
still freaking 50
force.
calibers at least. Yeah. And the momentum is going to affect him.
Yeah.
But then there's
Then
missiles.
he got missiles.
There's missiles.
Jeez. Like, holy Lord, he's putting up a fight, man.
I just like, geez, Metropolis PD. This is like what I expect Gotham to have.
Right? Not so fast.
No, I just love it when that Shirley Walker Superman theme kicks in.
Wells right up. And you know what? That could have killed. Blew up a helicopter. I mean, he could have caused an explosion right there. But you know, like how he just topples out like that.
I know, like doingy, doingy, doingy.
And everybody around him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
You got
over
me.
yet. Luck still had to play its
Oh,
part.
there is still voiceover. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was still a little bit of voiceover because I remember when he was going back to the apartment, he was saying that, you know.
Oh, yeah, that was the whole thing about I have to reveal myself to the governor.
Yeah, if I have to reveal myself, that's fine. So obviously, there's a lot more that still is happening in this episode. That's what I love about.
It's so weird because we've got to remember that you still have Walker on death row.
Yes.
And the execution is that night.
Yeah.
And Clark and Superman and Lois spend all their time going to the governor's mansion, only to discover the governor's actually at the penitentiary to witness the execution. Because as the butler goes, it is an election year.
That's a good one. I like that.
That's a good line. Yes.
And it's like, yeah, you can't even like really make a phone call. So now Superman just has to fly over to it, and it's like it's an interesting moment because you got him just sitting there strapped to the chair. It's obviously the gas chamber, and it's just it's dark. And you even got the dude, you know, the guy who's gonna pull the lever. He's got the hood on, or like
the executioner hood. Yeah.
Got all that, and everybody's looking and watching, and he does hit that. He does hit the lever, and then Superman just has to rush in, break in, and get him. And then, of course, he does his like tornado thing to get all the gas.
Suck the gas out because when he broke through the glass, that gas is going to, go after the witnesses.
Fill up the room. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Did you not think? Yeah, I guess he thought about it, but at first it was just like, "What are you doing, dude? Yeah, you saved him, but everybody else is gonna die." But of course, he does the tornado thing and up into the air, and then of course we get the cover of the Daily Planet that's saying like that he's a free man and he's been redeemed. Good old Ernest Walker. But guess who's getting the gas chamber?
Bowman.
Oh, dude,
I love how Lois writes the story talking about how Walker's been released, and then Clark gets to write the story about how bad cop on death row, and Bowman's just sitting there, and man, does Bowman just look like a complete pussy at this point because it's like he has no spine.
He has no spine. He does not. But remember, before this is where obviously they obviously we see the newspaper of Ernest being redeemed, and then both Jimmy and Lois are just kind of like, yeah, cool, but they miss Clark, and then of course they get the phone call, and then we see, oh yeah, he Clark got out of the water, bump on the head, blah blah blah, called Lana, and we get Lana Lang back.
Oh yeah. That little Spitfire.
Oh yeah, and she was totally eating up Lois's jealousy.
Oh God, she is loving every minute of it, and Lois is just like, "You son of a."
Oh yeah, she's like,
I love her line. You forgot your name,
yeah,
but you remembered her phone number.
Yeah, exactly. And even Lana's like, what, jealous? It was just like a funny thing. And then of course when she leaves and leaves a little upset, I just like to look that Lana and Clark give each other because it was just like tee.
Oh no, it really does feel like, I mean, that there's a little weird smile they animate on Clark, but
it's like that's what I immediately heard was like a tee. We have to watch this ending because it's just so freaking.
Oh, dude, this ending.
This
is the end. I mean, this ending is like the thing that I remember. Like it sears this episode in your brain. Yeah, he's got all this rage until the cops show up, and then it's like
oh yeah, you're gonna die, dude.
And it's the same, and it's the same witnesses from Walker's execution.
God, how did he survive that car bomb? How?
Whoop.
He's Superman.
Look at his eyes.
Chonk.
Oh,
Fade to black.
so freaking good.
Oh,
love that so
man.
much. He's Superman. You see, like, his eyes get all kind of red, and then it's just like, oh god, that gives me goosebumps. I got goosebumps just watching that again. It's that's one of my favorite endings right there.
Such a great
So
episode.
freaking good. Whoa, shut up. Start the next episode.
Did you already see what the episode was?
Yeah, I already saw what the title is. It's not ringing a bell. All I know is we've been talking about that title for a bit when it refers to Rebel Moon.
Oh, see, I know exactly what that title. Well, I know exactly what goes on in this episode.
Okay, heavy metal. I'm trying to remember what the hell it's even. I didn't even see the little whatchamacallit. So
yeah, the thumb
misleading.
art.
Yeah.
No. The thumb art actually would give you half the meaning of the title.
Half
not the other half of the meaning.
It's sounding freaking familiar. I'm gonna have to look now. Now that I know what the title is, or well, I was gonna know anyway. Oh yeah. Duh. Jeez, who's made of metal? Naturally.
Yes, but who else is made of metal?
That's a good question. Is this where we get? No. Do we? Somebody we've already seen before?
Yeah.
Robotic kind of person?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember now, and I can't draw on a
Maybe
blank.
not robotic, but you know, he has metal.
He has metal. I don't know. My brain's not working.
You do it. Do you want to wait, or do you want me to tell you?
Go ahead and tell me.
It's steel.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what. Okay, because we just saw Mr.
Irons in last week's episode. Yeah,
so this is where he comes back. That's right.
He comes back. He comes back 2 episodes later.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that quick.
I didn't think so either, but it is.
Wow.
Yes.
I knew we were getting him back, but I didn't think it was that quick. Okay, now I'm starting to remember this episode. All right, there you go. Well, this will be a fun one to talk about because we are still in Metropolis, right?
Yeah, we're still Metropolis. Yeah, we're still. I mean, yeah, we got Steel and Superman teaming up to fight who?
Right. To fight Jeez, my brain. Why can't you work right now? Ugh.
What was that?
I can't. I'm trying to pull it out. Can't pull it out. Hold on. Metallo. Jesus
yes, they fight Metallo. Yes.
I was like just my brain.
So that's the fun part about the title being heavy metal because you got Steel.
Yeah,
and they're fighting Metallo. Yeah.
So we got the return of Metallo, and we got the return of Mr. Irons, but this time now with a new and improved suit. So that's good. But one of the things that we should probably confirm here is I think now after tonight, we're going to be doing this on Wednesday nights.
Yes. From now on, Wednesday nights, there's going to be the regular night. You know, if there's an adjustment, we'll let you guys know. But Wednesday nights are going to be the default night for DC Fan-imated for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. So it'll be 8 o'clock Pacific time. So, I should, I'll have like Film Junkie Live. I'll have the members only stream and everything. And that all should be okay and done with. I'll make sure that we don't run over time. But if we do, we can always push it a little bit if we have to. But yeah, just with work schedules, it was either this night or Saturday night. And we already did the Saturday night thing.
We did the Saturday night thing where we're done.
Sometimes that can be a little difficult because, sometimes you just want to go out on a Saturday or whatever the heck, or you want to spend time with the family or something. You have like movie night. Saturdays, nah. So we're going to do it. Yeah. So busy night of streaming when it comes to the Film Junkie channel on Wednesday. It'll be fun. It'll be
You know what, guys? Just park your butts in your seats. We're like your favorite network channel back in the TV days. It's like TGI. It's like TGIF on ABC. You just got all your favorite shows just back to back to back. Just settle down and enjoy your evening.
There you go. You get a little movie news with just me. Then you get a little bit more where you can actually ask me a lot more questions. And then you get both of us talking some DCAU. Nothing wrong with that. And it's Wine Wednesday. So if you want to, pour yourself a glass.
Okay. Now, it is wine. That's right. You always drink wine. Okay. I'll have to make sure that I come prepared. I
mean, if you want to. I mean, that's...
No. I must adhere to the traditions of the channel.
I mean, that's what I've been doing. Although I won't be drinking wine tomorrow because I was like, I drank way too much this
yeah,
week.
yeah,
And I'm
you.
like, yeah,
I almost thought about bringing a beer on tonight just to mock you,
water,
just a little
water.
bit.
I know it's in my drinking glass, sure, but it's water. I swear to God. I was like, now after the way I had a
You're
weekend.
detoxing a little bit,
Yeah,
aren't you?
I am detoxing because I had a weekend of that. I haven't drank like that in a bit. So I was like, all right, yeah, let's wait till vodka stream on Friday. I need a I need a detox. So Monday it was very hard for me to wake up on Monday. A little
I
bit.
watched that Film Junkie live. You were having a time, man.
Oh yeah, it was just like I was trying to get to that point. I mean, I had like 3 or 4 cups of coffee that day. I mean, it was just like, why did I drink Saturday and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday like hard? It's like, why did I do that? I was like, but hanging out with friends, doing all this stuff. But this weekend, it's just be a nice, relaxed weekend. Anyways, but there you go, guys. So next week we'll see you at on
Wednesday night at 8:00 Pacific, 10:00 Central, here
There
on
you
the
go.
Film Junkie channel. After Film Junkie Live, after members only stream, we will return, watch heavy metal, and we will discuss it next week.
Not the
Not the movie, not the R-rated animated movie, the episode of Superman the Animated Series.
Well,
Yes.
watch that too, because apparently we're going to be kind of getting a live action version of that in a couple of months, which is
Yeah,
we're all
but
looking forward to. But right now we're talking about steel and metallo here, okay?
Yes, we are.
Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and send us off.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27, on Instagram at Merlin, and on Vero at Scott McClellan. You can find my podcast at DC Squadcast and the YouTube channel at the Squadcast Media channel over there. Once again, if you haven't seen already, I posted like a couple of reviews last week. I've got my Part 1 and Part 2 review of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the animated films coming from Warner Brothers Animation, and I also did my review of Boy Kills World, so go check those out.
There you go, guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Film Junkie Live and the members only stream, and then of course see you guys on Friday too. We got some people coming in on Friday talking a short film. So we got somebody bringing their short film that they made that is really good actually. So all right, guys, we love you. We'll talk to you later.